So now that you've noticed the life experiences that you're having, let's dive into your thoughts, or what I like to call the stories that you're telling yourself. And if you haven't already watched the video on noticing, check that out now before you continue. As a reminder, I'm Sheila Tucker. I'm the founder and CEO of Heart, Mind, and Soul Counseling in Hilton Head Island, South Carolina. And another reminder that this video is not a substitute for therapy. And although I'm a therapist, I am not yours. So just keep that in mind. Okay, now that you've noticed the life experiences you're having, let's dive into your thoughts, or what I like to call the stories you're telling yourself. And if you haven't already watched the video on noticing, check that out now before you continue. It'll explain a little bit more, and this part will make a lot more sense. So, as a reminder, I'm Sheila Tucker. I'm the founder and CEO of Heart, Mind, and Soul Counseling in Hilton Head Island, South Carolina. And another reminder that this video is not a substitute for therapy. And although I'm a therapist, I'm not yours. So please seek out someone being a licensed uh, therapist in your area if you need one. So, the story you tell yourself, or the stories you tell yourself, are the thoughts that you have about a situation that you're in, or an experience that you're having. So, here's an example. You're driving down the road, you're singing along to your favorite song, when out of nowhere, a car pulls out in front of you. You have just enough time to stop, but it's super close. So you feel your heart beating. You notice that you are holding your breath and your entire body is tense. And so in that moment, you're also having some thoughts. So you might be thinking, how could that person not see me? Person's an idiot. Where did they get their driver's license? Or, oh no, that was so close. Or a number of other things that could be more or less colorful. And so we are constantly creating stories about what we experience. So a bit of background mental chatter that informs what you think about yourself and about other people. Uh, we're meaning making machines. That's what we do. We tell ourselves stories, we're entertained by stories, and then we try to make sense of the story that we're saying. So here's a practice. The next time that you experience a moment that makes you smile, sends you into an anxiety spiral, or is simply frustrating, first go back to that other video and notice what happened. So notice what's going on for you. Notice that you're frustrated. Notice that you're having an anxiety spiral. Notice that you are laughing hysterically. So notice that about what's going on. And then pay attention to what you're telling yourself in that moment. You might find that you don't have a lot of nice words to say about yourself or maybe somebody else in that moment. Or you might. And you might find that there's a story you should be able to figure something out, or that you can't handle something, or that you're not enough. And so the list goes on and on and on. So I am curious, what are the stories you're telling yourself? And as a wee little reminder here again, the judgment piece. We're really quick to judge ourselves when we start to notice the background chatter that's coming up, the thoughts that we continually tell ourselves or about our situation. And so this again is a time to, as much as you can, park that judgment. Where we're getting curious and we want to understand that part of us that's telling these stories and what's going on. So we're going to give it a space to speak so we can understand, and then we can start to make changes if we want to make changes. We can soften some things if we want to soften some things. But no matter what, we can also know that, right now, it's where we are, and that's okay. So be gentle. In our next video, we'll talk a bit about self-compassion because that can be very important anyway in all parts of our lives, but especially when we're starting to notice things or when we've already noticed things in our lives that we don't like, or when we find that we get caught up and hooked into the stories that we tell ourselves. So stay tuned.